Hey, welcome to another episode of the CHL Top 10 show presented by IKEA. My name is Scott Van Kunet, and today we have an all hair episode for you with two of the best mullets and NHL draft prospects in the WHL. First, the second leading scorer in the dub, Zach Benson, comes to us fresh off a 2 week long road trip to tell us what those are like, how the Winnipeg ICE have been able to be so consistent this season, and what the team learned from last year's playoff run. Then, the sixth leading scorer in the dub, Riley Heidt, kicks his roommate out to tell us about being on the road, how the Prince George Cougars are taking an underdog mentality this year, and how nice it's been to go through the draft year process with teammate and linemate Koehn Ziemmer. Chilliwack, BC native Zach Benson was the 14th pick in the loaded 2020 WHL draft and has seen the steady progression you want from an NHL draft prospect, playing on a loaded Winnipeg ICE team that features 8 players that were drafted into the NHL, including last year's 9th and 11th overall picks in Matt Savoy and Connor Geekie. Benson leads them all by 15 plus points. Here's Zach Benson. My first guest today has 98 points, which puts him third in the entire CHL. His Winnipeg ICE is the first team to 50 wins this season. He's a highly touted NHL draft prospect. It's Zach Benson. Zach, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. The weather's starting to warm up here. How is it being back in Winnipeg? Is it still wintry there?
Yeah, it's still freezing here, but it's nice to get to sleep in your own bed.
Well, you had that 10 game road trip. You guys went 8-2 on the trip. I want to kind of get the road trip from your perspective, because a lot of people kind of they don't realize the lengths of these trips, the amount of time you guys are on the bus or in hotels and stuff. So just to start it off, you guys, your last home game was February 15th, and then I'm assuming the next day you took that 7-hour bus trip for your first of the road games into Moose Jaw on the Thursday, and then you do this Saskatchewan, do the Alberta, then back into Saskatchewan before finishing the road trip about 2 weeks later in Brandon. That sound about right?
Yeah, no, that sounds exactly right.
That first road trip of the season, that was a even longer road trip. How does that one help you prepare for one of this length later in the season?
Yeah, I think it was extremely important. Just getting starting off the season with that long road trip kind of got us ready for, I guess, this road trip. Obviously, it was a little longer, but I think it was good for us, and we kind of knew what to expect.
Who do you typically room with on the road?
Me and Sav have been rooming all year together.
And how's he as a roommate?
Yeah, he's good. We're both pretty quiet. We like to throw in the hockey games, so we kind of just sit in our bed and watch the hockey games.
And what about on the bus? Who do you sit with? Who's the worst guy to have to be around on the bus?
Yeah, I sit with Evan Friesen. He's a pretty good bus mate, I'm not gonna lie. Right across from us is Wyatt Wilson and Kyra Persofsky, and I wouldn't say yeah, they're probably the worst to be kind of across from me on the bus.
What do you guys do on like there's some long bus trips there. What do you guys do on those trips to kill time?
Actually, lately we've been watching movies as a group, or throw in the headphones, listen to music, or just talk to the guys around you. But I think the movies has kind of been the play lately.
What's been the best movie recently?
We watched Grown Ups. I'd say that was a good one.
And then while you're on the road, how tough is it to I know that the team plans everything, but how tough is it to maintain that healthy eating and lifestyle like while you're constantly in and out of hotels?
Honestly, it's pretty easy. The team has it set up really good. So we eat as a group every meal, and it's always somewhat healthy, or it's you're always getting everything you need. So it's honestly pretty easy.
And then what about school wise? Some guys aren't in school, some guys are doing school. What do you guys do for that?
Yeah, we have study hall basically every day. So you get a good hour and a half in. You get lots of schoolwork done. So we have it pretty good on the road. Going to study hall, obviously, helps a ton for just catching up on missed assignments or little late assignments.
When you guys are together for so long like that, I know it helps for the bonding and becoming, the camaraderie of the team and everything like that. But does there get to be a point where you start to get on each other's nerves a little bit?
Um, I guess a little bit. We're always having fun, but towards the end of the trip, we've seen each other, basically, well, every single day. And come the end of that trip, there's a couple of guys that I don't know, kind of get a little too close to you sometimes. But at the end of the day, we're all having lots of fun.
And when you get home, what's the first thing you do when you get back to your billet's place?
We usually arrive pretty late, so usually just hop into bed and get a good sleep.
How nice is it? Obviously the long trips are hard, but to have that later in the year after all the moves have been made and like the group that you have is that group. So you find, you get a really good chance to get to know everybody and gel together.
Yeah, it's super important. Just getting to know the new guys. You get to know them a lot more on the road, I believe. Just doing activities as a team, I think kind of just bonds you as a group. So getting to know the new guys a little more, and by the end of that trip, you feel like a brother. So I think it's really important, and we had lots of fun.
All right, well, I'm gonna throw some stats at you here. These are your stats, so we're gonna talk about you for a little bit. Like I said, 98 points, second only to Bedard in the WHL. You're third in assists with 62. You're third with 8 game-winning goals. You're second with 6 shorties. You've had a 14-game point streak, a 10-game point streak. You haven't gone back-to-back games without a point. You lead the CHL with a plus 68. Is there a stat in there that you might be, maybe you're most proud of?
I wouldn't say there's a particular stat that I'm most proud of. I kind of just want to go out there and help my team win.
Well, about a week ago, you scored your third hat trick of the season. You had, your a career high 6-point game. You've been WHL Player of the Week twice, CHL Team of the Month for February. What has made you so consistent this year?
I think my work ethic definitely plays a big role in it. The amount of fun that I'm having as I'm doing it all. So, and then obviously my line mates and teammates. I've been playing with Matthew Savoy and Connor McLennan most of the year, and we've seemed to find some good chemistry. So couldn't have done it without them, and we just look to keep going here.
On Tuesday night, you banked a shot in off the goalie against Medicine Hat.
Bouncing puck front of the net, trying to jam away at it. Benson looking to center, he scores! Zach Benson from below the goal line, and this game is tied at 1.
How often do you practice, little plays like that to come up with other opportunities to score?
I'd say quite a bit, honestly. At the end of practice, I usually we do some shootouts, and you put yourself in some tough situations. So you always try and find to do something cool in practice. And I think when it comes to a game, it's kind of just I would say just kind of a habit, honestly. Just trying to find a way to put it in the net. So I'm glad it worked out.
You've scored a lot of goals this year. You've assisted on a lot of goals this year. Is there a particular goal or game that stands out for you so far this season?
I'd probably say my goal against Saskatoon. Kind of, I don't know. That's probably the best goal I've scored in this league. So I'd say that one I'm pretty proud of.
Well, take us through that one, because we'll put the video over top of it.
We were on the power play. Puck got chipped out. I beat the guy back. Kind of shielded him off. He fell. Picked it up in our blue line. Went for a skate. Went through. I split the D, and then I just tucked it in backhand. So it was a pretty good goal.
Pass went off the boards, and it comes out to center ice now, and Benson will strip it away from water out. Here he comes, Benson trying to do it himself. Benson, he's in, he scores! What a goal! Power play marker by Zach Benson, and Winnipeg leads it 4-2.
His 27th of the season is the prettiest so far.
on the team side of it, you guys first team to 50 wins. You had 53 wins last year, which led the entire CHL. So you're well on your way to surpassing that. You guys have spent 13 weeks at the top of the Kia CHL top 10 rankings, and you've never been below third, which is you guys are the only team who have never been below third. You guys have only lost back to back. How many times?
I think maybe once,
twice. Yeah, just twice. And you've only lost 3 games at home. One of them was an overtime loss. You've had, a 15-game win streak earlier in the season, just coming off an 11-game win streak that ended last week. What does it say about the group that you guys have? Like, are you guys just on a mission this year, after doing what you did last year and coming up a little bit short? Are you guys just, it's WHL championship, we're going to work, we know what we have to do?
Absolutely. Everyone in this room's hungry. We're all having a lot of fun, but we know that we're kind of on a mission. We have one goal in mind, and that's kind of just to get the championship. So everyone in this room is kind of locked in, and we're starting to get in playoff mode now.
Well, maybe what did you take away from the playoffs last year that you're going to use to become a better player this year in the playoffs?
Yeah, I learned just how fast it is and how consistent you have to be. You can't take a night off in the playoffs. Every game's super important. You got to win 4. So you got to take every game like it's, you got to act like every game's going to be your last, and you got to put everything on the line.
What about on the mental side of it? Physically the playoffs are a grind, especially if you're going right to the end. How about the mental side? How do you guys prepare or, maintain that side of the game?
Yeah, I think, you always got to stay locked in. But I think lots of video helps us a ton. Kind of know what our opponent's about. Maybe if they switch a system halfway through a game, just getting some video on that. And, James does a great job of kind of filling us in when they switch something up or they do something different.
And GM goes out at the deadline and brings in Ostapchuk, Armstrong, and Latimer, 3 big bodies to help out in the playoffs. How important are those pieces going to be come playoff time?
Yeah, those are huge additions. Obviously, we're super happy to have them. It fills out our roster, makes us even deeper. So we're super lucky and fortunate to have them. And, they've gelled right in. And, I think it definitely helps our depth out. And we're looking forward to the stretch run here.
What's been the most impactful thing that they have done for you or maybe the team since arriving?
Yeah, I think a guy like Chucky brings a lot of leadership. Ostapchuk, he was the captain of Vancouver, and he's a super good guy, super good leader. So he leads by example with his work ethic. So I think he just takes every game, works extremely hard, and the rest of our team recognizes that and kind of tries to raise our game to that level. And a guy like Army is super physical, one of the best shots in the league. So super big additions, and we're lucky to have them.
What does it say about the character of those guys when they come into a team as deep as yours is already, and then they accept slightly lesser roles to have even more success with you guys?
Yeah, it shows a lot about their character. They want to win. They're super competitive guys. So, we're fortunate to have them. Chucky is super good in all situations. Army's a big body, power forward. So, they both have a huge role on this team, and we're fortunate to have them.
As we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs, have some of the veteran guys on the team, have they stepped up and said anything about this being their last go as a collective group with you guys?
Yeah. They don't really say it, you don't come out and say it pretty blatantly, but they kind of beat around the bush. They kind of let us know that it's their last year, and we want to do something special. But with that being said, everyone in this room's super hungry, and like I said before, we have one goal in mind, and that's to win. So we're looking forward to this run, and hopefully we can do some special things.
I know you said you've been playing with Savoy and McLennan. I know you've played a lot with Geeky over the last couple of years as well. What have those guys, along with Lambos, what have they meant for your career so far?
Yeah, they've meant a ton. Just getting to know them when I was 15, and Lambos and McLennan kind of took me under their wing, which I greatly appreciate. They've meant a lot to me, and a lot to my teammates. They're true leaders. They lead by example every day. So they meant a lot to me, and they still mean a lot to me. And they mean lots to our group.
I know they told you to for your draft year, to make sure you have fun with it. But when with all the pressure that goes along with it being your draft year, all the different, attention that you get, how are you able to have fun with it?
I think kind of just blocking out the noise. Savoy, McLennan, Lambos, Geeky, they kind of all give me advice just to, kind of block it out, have fun with it. But when it comes to our team, you just got to block it out and, focus on our group and, the special group we have, we can do some special things. So I think blocking out is the most important thing.
Where you got to go to the prospects game, scored a goal in it. Was it nice to finally get to play with Connor Bedard rather than having to play against him and defend against him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a special player, so it's nice to be on the same side as him, and even to get to play on the line with him was pretty special. So yeah, it was definitely nice to be on the same team.
How was that event for you? It's a short week, but it feels like it's long at the same time.
Yeah, it was a short couple days. I had a blast. I know a lot of the guys there had a blast. Just doing the testing and then playing the game. It was super fun. Getting to know new guys and getting to see some familiar faces. So I had a blast, and I know a lot of the guys had as much fun as me.
What comes to your mind when you hear people describe you as, relentless on the puck? You're a scrappy player, very responsible without the puck.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I go into every game. I want to be a guy that kind of disrupts plays and just always competes. I always want to get the puck back for our team. So that's the way I would describe my game. All over the puck, defensively smart, good stick. So, yeah, that's kind of my game.
I would also throw in there always smiling. Every time I've talked with you, you usually have a pretty good smile on your face. And obviously that comes easier when you're producing and winning games. But is it contagious for the whole team? Like you guys are, you're leading the CHL with 290 goals. So having fun out there, is it contagious when, one guy's producing, the next line starts producing, then the next line starts producing?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a great team here. We got lots of depth. So when one line's going, the next line wants to be going, and the other line wants to be going. So it's kind of internal competition, but at the same time, we're such a tight group, and we want the best for each other. So I think it's great to have a little bit of competition within the team, but at the same time, we all love each other.
We talked about how the end goal is obviously WHL championship and a Memorial Cup. But did you set any personal goals this year? 40 goals, 100 points. Did you set anything like that for yourself?
I didn't, honestly. I kind of just came into the season knowing that we had a good team, and the way we went out last year, I just don't want to have that feeling again. So I kind of just had team goals, and that's to win the championship and get to the Memorial Cup.
How important maybe is it then to have had that taste of defeat to know how much more you don't want to feel that again?
Yeah, I think it's extremely important. Just knowing how much it hurts. Especially seeing your 20-year-olds last year, it hurts a lot. So you definitely don't want to have that feeling. And now that our group kind of has a taste of it, I think it's extremely important.
Just a couple more before I let you go. So the NHL trade deadline just passed. Do you keep an eye on the trades that were happening, seeing who's got what picks? Have you let yourself kind of look at the standings at all and kind of wonder, oh, I could fit in on this roster or I could fit on that roster?
No, I don't really look at that kind of stuff. I look at the trades, like Ryan O'Reilly going to the Leafs, kind of the bigger trades, Ekholm going to the Oilers, but I don't really look for the draft picks. Um, yeah, I kind of just look at the bigger trades and see where the players are going.
Well, you got 8 games left in the regular season. You guys are 2 points up on Seattle for first place in the WHL. What do you guys have to do in those final 8 games? What kind of tweaks or adjustments do you guys still need to make? You got 3 against Brandon, 3 against PA, Edmonton, and Moose Jaw in there.
Yeah, I think we just got to bring more consistent efforts. Lately we haven't been playing our best hockey, so just get back to playing Winnipeg ICE hockey and playing quick. And like I said before, just getting in playoff mode, I think, is going to be extremely important for this group.
What do you have to do to get into that playoff mode? What does Zach Benson have to do to flip that switch to playoff mode?
For me, it's just doing maybe a little more video. Just showing up to every game with the mindset that I'm gonna compete my hardest, work my hardest. So that's how I do it. I kind of just get in my zone. And I know a lot of the other guys are kind of the same way.
Is there a feeling that you get in a game, like you yourself, that like once you feel it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a good one tonight?
Kind of. I guess if you have a pretty good first period, you're usually like, yeah, okay, I think I'm feeling this game. But I don't know. At the same time, you never really tell. You kind of just go out there and try and compete.
Well, Zach, this has been great. Hopefully, it's a great final 8 games of the regular season and an extra long playoff run for you guys and a trip to Kamloops for the Memorial Cup. Thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
The first player selected after Connor Bedard in that loaded 2020 WHL draft, Riley Heidt, has taken his game to another level this season, putting him firmly in the conversation as a potential first-round NHL draft pick. The Saskatoon native is hoping to lead his Prince George Cougars out of the first round of the playoffs for the first time since 2007, when Devin Setaguchi was leading the team in scoring. Here's Riley Heidt. My next guest is coming to us from his hotel room in Victoria. He's 6th in dub scoring with 82 points, and he just recently broke the Prince George Cougars single-season assist record with his 60th of the season. It's Riley Heidt. Riley, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Good. Glad you can we can hook up and talk here. Congratulations on passing Jansen Harkins. Were you aware of the milestone that you were approaching?
Yeah, no, I had no clue up until about a week ago. One of my media guy actually brought it up to my attention, and I figured it out. So yeah, it's obviously cool, and yeah, I had no idea about it, so it was pretty surprising to me. But yeah, to do that's always pretty special.
Yeah, what does that mean to you? The Cougars have been around for a little while now, but to have the record for most assists in a season and obviously still 8 games left to play.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think there's obviously going to give a lot of credit to my my teammates. I'm playing with a lot of good goal scorers, so I think just trying to find find them in soft areas and stuff, and that's what I've done this year, and it's obviously helped me for sure.
Happy to see that the hair is still going.
Yeah.
What's the plan for the hair? Are you keeping it to the draft or
No, I'm getting rid of it pretty soon.
Zach still has his going. He actually had just had his tightened up, so I think he's keeping his to Nashville.
I got to do that eventually.
I don't know, man. You're bringing it back. The mullet's coming back. It looks good.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, like I said, you guys are currently on a short road trip. Who's the road roommate? Who are we keeping quiet right now?
Oh, Ethan Sampson.
And how is he as a roommate?
Oh, he's good. Yeah, I live with him at home as well, so it's we know each other pretty well.
You guys obviously spend a lot of time on the bus. I talked to Zach Benson earlier. He said they're doing a lot of team movie watching together right now. What do you guys do to kill time on the buses?
Yeah, I think we're into cards. I think we play a lot of cards, and I think we're just always joking around. But yeah, a lot of guys are always in the series, obviously, and stuff on Netflix. So I think guys just downloading shows and stuff is a big thing too.
Who's your busmate? Is it?
I share a row with Koehn Ziemmer, so he usually gets a floor though, so I'm on the seats. So
Well, it's your third season in the WHL, first real normal season, but second season getting to play in PG. A lot of people complain or gripe about, you know, uh, PG and the travel that you guys have to do. But maybe what's your favorite thing about playing in PG?
Yeah, I think obviously I don't mind the travel, to be honest, because I think we obviously it's a lot, but I think a lot of teams have to do day travels and stuff, and we're pretty lucky. We're always up the day before a game, so I think once you get that long kind of bus trip out, I think you have the whole night to kind of just rest, and then you get to sleep, and then you just hang out on game day. So I don't mind it. Maybe some people disagree with me, but yeah, I just think maybe just leaving a couple days before games, I like a lot.
How much closer do you guys become as a team because you're spending so much time on the bus or traveling together and you're always as a group?
Yeah, for sure. I think we're a really tight team this year, and obviously that probably bus trips come into account of that. I think just like you said, we're it's crazy the amount of hours we spend together on the bus and stuff. So I think you just got to try to find a way to enjoy it and laugh about it a bit and stuff. And it obviously goes by quicker if you're enjoying it. So
Well, you had a good season last year, leading the team in scoring. Um, what was your off season like for you? What were your kind of goals going into last year's off season?
yeah, for sure. I think obviously I want to improve all parts of my game, but I think I just worked on my speed and just quickness as much as I could, and because obviously the game's really fast nowadays, so I think you got to be a good skater, and that's part of it. So I think I just spent a lot of time on working on my skating and stuff, and yeah, just getting quicker and stronger, obviously, and just trying to work on all the little things.
What was maybe the biggest lesson you learned in that first full season? I know you had the bubble year, but that first full season.
Yeah, I think probably just if there's so many games, you play so many games in a season, and it's obviously different from minor hockey. So I think if you're not you're struggling for a little bit or whatever, just to kind of get out of that slump or whatever, just to regroup, because you play three, 4, 5 games sometimes in a week. So I think just being kind of forget about it and move on probably is a thing that I would tell myself last year. So
What sorts of things did you try to do to move on past a slump or to, if you weren't playing as well as you thought you should be?
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's obviously everyone goes through that, and everyone knows. I think so. Everyone kind of handles that stuff differently, but I think yeah, I don't know, just like I said, try to just have a bit of a short memory. I know it's tough sometimes, but yeah, I just think just obviously going into the next game with an old mind again. So
And then coming into this year, what was Mark Lamb's, expectations that he set for you?
yeah, I think obviously there's expectations your coach will always have on you, but I probably set them higher for myself. So nothing that I wasn't expecting or whatever, but it's just obviously your coach wants a lot out of you and stuff. So I think just try to be the best player I can be, and help my team win.
I'm gonna throw some names out at you, and you tell me what comes to mind when I say Chase Wheatcroft.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know a whole lot about him up until this year, and I didn't know what to expect from when he came to our team. But obviously, he's you know excelling this year, and he's having a hell of a year. And he's I don't know, I can't believe I just watch him in practice how good of a goal scorer he is, and just his ability also to set up plays and stuff, and he can stick handle on a phone booth. So I think just yeah, obviously it's showing with the numbers he's putting up this year, and yeah, I mean, I think just good guy. I love him off the ice. So I think he's brings a lot of light to the room and fun guy to be around. But yeah, I know he's just obviously super super skilled player. So
Yeah, almost 30 goals, 60-point improvement year over year, leads the entire CHL with 22 goals on the power play. What makes him so dangerous on the power play for you guys?
yeah, I think he's obviously knows that bumper spot pretty well, and I think we all have guys who move the puck around pretty well. So if just try to find him in open soft areas, and he'll do the rest. So
And for you personally, what has he meant to you on the team this year?
yeah, for sure. I mean, he's helped me a lot. I think obviously playing with him and stuff, and just seeing. I think just being able to open the ice up a bit more and stuff, and use our creativity and stuff, and playing alongside the teams. I think all three of us work together pretty well, and we all seem to find each other. So yeah, it's fun.
Is your roomie in the room right now?
No.
No? Okay. So you got a couple of veteran guys on the back end in Ethan Sampson and Hudson Thornton, who are both also having career years offensively. What do they mean to the team?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, they bring maybe a little bit different roles for each other, but obviously, they bring two important roles. They both play shutdown role as well, so it's pretty cool to see also the numbers that they're putting up, considering that they also just play a shutdown role. So yeah, I think that's it's our power play has been a pretty big success to our team this year, and we all can zip it around. So I think having us five out there is big. And yeah, no, I think they just bring they're physical guys, and they bring obviously leadership as well, captain and assistant captain. So I think they're huge pieces to our team for sure.
Does it make your life a little bit easier having those guys on the back end for you?
Yeah, for sure.
And then having a couple guys like Ty Young and Tyler Brennan in the net, does that give you, as one of the forwards, a little more confidence to maybe make the higher risk, higher reward plays sometimes?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, they're both really good goalies, and they're really competitive guys, and they both want to be playing. So I think it's helped them this year, and they're both starting to heat up. So I think it's a good time of the year to start playing well. And yeah, no, for sure they give us confidence, and our whole team trusts them. So I think that's it's obviously important to have.
And obviously, we got to talk about Koehn Ziemmer. What has it been like for you? You guys have essentially over the last 3 years been growing up together, playing together. The chemistry is unreal. What has it been like playing with him?
Yeah, for sure. He brings a physical appearance too. I think that most people don't know, and he opens the ice up for us, and I just try to find him, and he finds me as well. So I think we kind of just think on the same page most of the time, and yeah, I think it brings a pretty good dynamic. So.
How much do you guys push each other on the ice and maybe push each other off the ice as well to keep improving and getting better?
Yeah, I think that's obviously we're both competitive guys, and I think we do little things in practice and stuff to make each other better. So I think it's obviously always fun competition.
And obviously, both going through your draft year, does it make it a little bit easier having somebody going through the same things that you're going through?
Yeah, for sure. It's huge to have a guy to talk to, and it's also it helps like I said, our goalies last year went through it, and Sammy the year before. So I think just having those people go through it, and someone else to talk to is important for sure.
How much do you think that bubble year that you guys got to play in helped your bantam draft class? Because you got your Bedard, Benson, Crystal. You guys are all top 10 in WHL scoring. Jaeger's not too far from you guys, and then the list goes on and on of high end guys from your draft class. So how much do you think that extra year that you guys got helped out?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was probably a huge learning curve for a lot of guys, and I think it just helped us going into that 16-year-old year for sure. I think because you don't have 20 games to settle in as 16. I think you know what you're getting into. So playing those 15 or 20 games, whatever it was in the bubble, was obviously big for all of us, and we were all super lucky, and I think it hurt a lot of people, but I think it obviously helped us for sure. So.
And I, like I mentioned, Braden Yeager, your former contacts teammate. What's the relationship like with him these days?
Yeah, for sure. I think we have a really tight relationship, and obviously it's good to, we've been playing with each other for a long time now. So I think, just to see his success is obviously, huge, and we're both going in our draft years, and, we're helping each other along the way.
And, third year in the league, and you finally get a chance to play against him this year. How fun was it to get a chance to play against him when Moose Jaw came to town?
Yeah, for sure. It was nice. I think we actually beat him, so that was fun, and obviously that was probably something we both wanted to win that game, in way more than others. So yeah, obviously it was nice to play him, and yeah, that was the first time I played him since I played with him. So yeah, obviously that's won't forget.
Was it all business on the ice, or was there a little bit of chirping, or did you guys, did talk before the game and then nothing again until after the game?
Yeah, I think we maybe talked a little bit more, which I can't remember, but yeah, and obviously during the game, I think we were both pretty serious. Obviously, I think we went out on a couple of draws together, so maybe some things were said. I don't really know, but even at the prospects game as well, we were kind of chirping each other off the draws. So it's funny.
Like you said, you won the game. You scored a goal in the game. He was shut out of the game. How long after the game did you wait until you beat him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I really chirped them much after the game, but yeah, I didn't even get to say hi to them. They were out of the rink pretty quick. So
And then getting a chance, like you said, played against him at Top Prospects game. What was that event like for you? Obviously, player of the game for your team, but how much did you have? How much fun did you have there?
yeah, it was super special. I think just to maybe meet a couple. I played with a lot of the guys before already at the Hockey Canada, but to meet a couple new guys and stuff was obviously fun. And yeah, just to do with all my buddies back at home, him included, but obviously there's Lynn and all those other guys as well. So just to do with all those guys, it was pretty fun, and have my teammate there as well was for sure special, and yeah, it was a really good experience overall.
Like you said, you obviously played with the majority of the guys there before, but was there anybody that you hadn't played, or maybe that you had played with, that surprised you or impressed you while you were there with either maybe some of the testing, or just what you saw on or off the ice?
Yeah, I was playing online with Sachin on Seattle, and I didn't really know him much before, so yeah, I thought me and him connected pretty well, and it was fun to play with him.
Last year, you guys got a taste of the playoffs. Swept by Portland in the first round, but that series was a heck of a lot closer than what a four-game sweep would look like. What did you guys learn from that playoff series as we get closer to the playoffs this year?
Yeah, I think we were all we didn't really have much playoff experience last year. There's only a couple guys with a bit of games, so I think we just kind of realized that it's a short span and you can't really take a game off. But yeah, we were super close. I don't think that series shows for what it really was. I think we were so close to winning both the first two games, and then I think once that happened, it was they just kind of obviously I don't know if we let off a bit or whatever. But I think just going into this year, we're going to be obviously the same guys from last year. There's a lot of them on this team, so I think we know we got to we know what we got to do, and you can't take them lightly. And every team's obviously really good coming up into the playoffs, so I think we just got to go out there and play our game. So
You guys are currently sitting fourth in the Western Conference, 7-2-1 in your last 10. So you guys are heating up at the right time. 4 points ahead of Everett and Tri-City. What do you guys have to make sure you keep doing to get that fourth spot and have home ice in the first round?
yeah, for sure. I think we play about 8 games now, so every game obviously is important. And yeah, they're sneaking up on us again, and obviously we want that fourth spot so we get home ice. So I think just going into every game here coming up, just taking one by one, and we play 3-3 here coming up this weekend. So just try to get as many points as we can every night, and yeah, that's for sure.
Do you guys talk about it in the room? Do any of the older guys talk about it in the room? The guys that might be graduating after the year about, you know, now it's time to really buckle down and get serious as we get closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I think just as a hockey player, I think you kind of know that in the back of your mind. But yeah, obviously it's been said a bit, and I think it's showing. I think our record's showing it that we can play a tight game, and obviously we're super offensive, but I think we play a really good structured game. So I think if we just keep that in our game, we challenge a lot of teams. So
You look at the WHL this year, and like there are some behemoth teams. Do you guys kind of approach it as with an underdog mentality right now? Like, people aren't even counting you guys as one of the teams. You look at the big teams, but you guys are, you're climbing up there right now. But do you have that underdog mentality?
yeah, for sure. I think you kind of have to. I think with obviously looking at team like Seattle and Kamloops and stuff, obviously they're going to be really tough to beat. But I think it's hockey and it can happen. So I think you just gotta worry about getting through the first round first, and then obviously worry about who you're playing next. But yeah, obviously there's some super good teams, and I think that's just maybe we just gotta we're getting tighter as a team, and we keep getting better every game. So I think there's lots of build off, and I think we all believe we can do it. So.
Well, like you said, 8 games left. 4 of them are against Victoria. You got 2 against Kamloops, 1 against Vancouver, 1 against Kelowna. What final tune-ups are you guys going to need to make to be able to do a long playoff run?
Yeah, I think like I said kind of earlier, I think just keep focusing on our structure and start team play and just playing away from the puck and working on being good on special teams. I think that's obviously huge, and just playing a tight team game. That's obviously what's going to win you games. So, and I think we're doing a good job of that as late. So I think just keep continuing the path we're on.
You end the season with a home and home against the Memorial Cup presented by Kia host Kamloops Blazers. Is it nice to kind of end it with the tough team in Kamloops and really set yourself up for that first playoff round?
Yeah, for sure. I think we always play really good games against them. I don't know what the record is off the top of my head, but I think obviously our team knows how good they are and kind of style of game they play. So obviously I think that'll be a huge matchup for us and big confidence booster if we can get those wins and going into the playoffs for sure. So
awesome, Riley. Thank you very much for taking the time out today. Good luck in the 3-3 this weekend, and hopefully a long playoff run for you.
Yeah, thank you.